Good morning.
Good morning again.
Yeah.
Lesson 82. Take it away, sis.
We will review these ideas today. 63. The light of the world brings peace to every mind through my forgiveness. My forgiveness is the means by which the light of the world finds expression through me. My forgiveness is the means by which I become aware of the light of the world in me. My forgiveness is the means by which the world is healed together with myself. Let me then forgive the world that it may be healed along with me. I need to stop here. I want to unpack or remind us of what forgiveness is. I think that that's going to be very helpful here. That last line that I read was, let me then forgive the world that it may be healed along with me. So what's actually happening is the world that I am seeing through the ego filter is being projected through the ego filter, right? So the forgiveness that's necessary is to forgive myself, or forgive the ego in my mind, forgive myself for believing what the ego has projected. That's the forgiveness. So I'm not actually forgiving somebody else that I believe has hurt me, or a situation. I'm not actually forgiving physical pain or physical sickness, etc. Because if I'm making something real first and then trying to forgive it, it's not going to work.
Right.
All right. Remembering that everything the ego filter is projecting out there is an illusion. So what I'm actually doing in forgiveness is I'm asking Holy Spirit, please help me to forgive myself for having unknowingly used another person, pain, disease, whatever, to attack myself and to separate from my holy self, right? Yeah. That's what I'm doing. I just need to bring that back in.
Yeah, and it's taking it back to the one problem Jesus says that we have, and that's the belief that we've separated. And so if we believe we're separate, all that guilt is sitting in our mind, and so we're projecting it out there. And so I've placed the guilt that I feel out in some picture of lack or distress or something. And so I just recognizing that there's nothing really out there, that this is guilt in the mind projected. That's the only problem I have. I want to forgive myself for the mistaken belief that I thought separation happened. I want to forgive myself for the mistaken belief that I'm separate, and using all my problems as evidence that the separation has occurred. So we're just forgiving it, because thankfully there was one answer to the one problem, which said, inconceivable, my child. You cannot leave. You're an idea in the mind of God. The separation has not occurred. That is why everything that you're perceiving is an illusion. So this is the great news. So forgiveness is just, this is imagery in my mind. This is from guilt, from the mistaken belief that I'm separate. God has answered that. That's where I'm accepting the atonement, and we will go much more deeply into that. But it's the forgiveness of our illusions that allows me to perceive the real world, or the happy dream. forgiveness heals my mind, our shared mind.
Beautiful.
Mhm. Great reminders.
Great peace in that again, right?
Yes. Yes.
So here it says suggestions for specific forms for applying this idea are, and he gives us 3 here. Let peace extend from my mind to yours, and name the person there, right?
Yes.
I share the light of the world with you, and the person's name there. Through my forgiveness, I can see this as it is. Of course, that's the light of the world's clear understanding that comes when we forgive.
Can you explain again what it means in the thought that as I'm doing my forgiveness and I experience peace, why does it bring peace to every mind?
Good question, sis. Isn't it great? Good
Yes.
topic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Because that mind, the mind is one.
Right.
Okay. And because we're all joined in this one mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we believe the ego filter, that's darkness,
Mm-hmm.
the light of my forgiveness subsumes that darkness
Mm-hmm.
for all minds.
Right.
So it's not an exclusive thing for me alone.
Right.
It's totally inclusive.
So we never forgive alone, and we also never attack alone. So while we're spreading and wanting images of fear because we feel we're guilty, it's not just self-attack, it's attack on the entire sonship. But as we are willing to forgive, we're not just forgiving for ourselves. There's no such thing as private forgiveness. And that's why he'll emphasize later in the course about the importance of, you can't accept your innocence if you're not wanting or desiring innocence for the entire sonship. It has to apply equally to every part of the sonship for it to be truly a desire, a pure desire.
Yeah, thank you, sis. And it also flips too, is we can't condemn ourselves alone in private.
That's right. Yeah.
It seems we can,
Mm-hmm.
but we can't, right?
No.
If we condemn ourselves, we're condemning everyone.
That's right. So
that's why we need to forgive.
Yeah, he's really emphasizing oneness and sharing that this forgiveness is not for ourselves alone. Thanks, sis.
Thank you.
You keep going on 64.
Okay, 64. Let me not forget my function. Forgiveness, right?
Yes.
I would not forget my function because I would remember myself with a capital S, meaning our shared identity as the Holy Self with all our brothers. I cannot fulfill my function if I forget it. So whenever I'm triggered, if I forget my function, I've forgotten that I'm being triggered for one reason, and that is to forgive myself for this particular seeming transgression, right?
Right.
And unless I fulfill my function, I will not experience the joy that God intends for me. Suitable specific forms of this idea include the following. Let me not use this to hide my function from me. So whenever we're triggered, let me not use this to hide my function of forgiveness from me. Mm-hmm. I would use this as an opportunity to fulfill my function of forgiveness. This may threaten my ego, but cannot change my function in any way. There you go. There's Jesus.
Right on, sister.
Right on.
Yeah. So whenever a trigger comes, right, before we were looking with the ego, and a trigger would come and we would draw ourselves into it and get emotional about it and share the misery. And that's exactly what it was for. And it worked perfectly. But now we're recognizing, okay, I will to awaken and to know ourselves. And so when the trigger comes, now everything has been repurposed. So here it comes. Oh, here's an opportunity for me to forgive and to see through to its nothingness. I'm no longer fueling it. My function is to look through this and remember what's right there instead, right? So
Yeah.
everything is an opportunity now for you. Nothing's happening to you. From this point forward, everything that comes your way is for the healing of our mind. And I would really appreciate it if you would get on about it. For my sake.
For my sake too. Yeah. And one little practice too,
Yes.
which was incredibly valuable for me and still is to remember that behind every grievance, every resentment, every trigger, there's a miracle.
Yes.
Always, always, always. So, if I go down the rabbit hole, if I choose to go down the rabbit hole of that grievance, that resentment, that trigger, then I deny myself the miracle.
Oh, yeah.
So I catch myself right at the gate now, and most of the time, and go, okay, I'm triggered. So there's got to be a miracle behind this. Do I want the trigger or do I want the miracle?
Right.
And that makes it so much easier to go, okay, I've got to remember my function, which is forgiveness.
Yes. Accepting your function leads to the memory of God. You'll end up with tears of gratitude and chills and the most profound sense of love. That's the miracle waiting for you if you should choose your function. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. That's lesson 82. See you next time.
Bye.